Hi, it's Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 23 of the January daily draws. As we close out the week and approach the weekend, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Linestrider Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Enchanted Map Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Four of Wands, so maybe we're celebrating some achievement, sharing in that. Maybe celebrating with other people, maybe having a bit of a party for some of us. But it's a time of celebration, and it's a time of recognition that we've perhaps laid the foundation on which we can build something really meaningful. And that's certainly something to celebrate. That's certainly an achievement to recognize. And the most important thing we can do is build that foundation. Because and we need to get the foundation right. So if we are currently building that foundation, or we've managed to build the foundation of what we want to create, and we've got that, we've done it well, we've took our time with it, we've paid attention to detail, because it's so important to get the foundations of anything that we try and achieve right, because that provides the stability for the rest of whatever it is we're going to put onto that foundation. Whatever comes next, the stability of that is dependent upon the quality, the strength of the foundation on which it's going to stand. So that's why in the beginning stages, it's so important not to rush those early stages. Sometimes we want to rush through those early stages to get down to the real stuff that we may see as the better stuff. We may want to get that initial stage over with and get things moving a bit more, but that's the wrong mindset, and we need to make sure that because if the foundation isn't strong, if it isn't secure, isn't made of the right quality, no matter how well we build upon that foundation, it's not gonna hold up the weight of that, and it's gonna crumble from the bottom up. So we need to lay the foundation properly, and having done so, then when we put the foundation in, that is one of the most important things we can do in the process, and that's certainly something to celebrate. And maybe through this week we've laid or started to lay the foundation of what we are wanting to achieve in the coming days, weeks, and months. And it's important that we recognize the importance of it, and we celebrate it, we recognize it, and we share in what we've achieved so far. We share in the bounty of what we've achieved, and then with others that's going to be affected by this. We all share in the rewards of any kind of achievement. But for us as individuals, whatever we've done, it's worth getting to the end of the week and really acknowledging our achievements and rejoicing in them. When we fail, and I use that word loosely because when things don't go as well as we would have hoped, we get disappointed, we feel down. So when we do something that's an achievement, why shouldn't we enjoy that experience? If other experiences make us feel the opposite way, when we do things well, then we should have that joyous, celebratory feeling. We shouldn't deny ourselves that. If we're going to have one kind of emotion, we should also have the other with it when things go well. So that's what I think this card is reminding us of: is take time to celebrate, to reflect, and to celebrate on your achievements. And also, in regards to the stability of what you're doing, make sure that you lay the foundation correctly. We're not talking about a literal foundation unless we are actually building a structure, but we're talking figuratively, symbolically, whatever we're doing. There's always a preliminary stage on which everything else depends. So we need to do that well. And I think that is the message of the cards today. So maybe take some time over the weekend thinking about what we've done and how well we've either finished laying the foundation or how well we're in the middle of that process, and we're not rushing it, and remind us to make sure we get it right, to do it well rather than fast. Because that will, if we do it well, that will help us a lot more in the long run with everything else we do further down the line. Okay, let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. And we'll have a quick look. Okay, here we go. Balancing Act. Look at that. She's holding the rope or the wire tight, and it's the little ship here is on the ring here. It's managing to go across the wire. It's certainly a balancing act. And sometimes getting things right is a bit like a balancing act. Getting the things in the right proportion, getting things as it should be. If she pulls on this wire too hard, it could break, it could snap, and everything comes crashing down. If she doesn't pull it hard enough and it hangs loose, then it's not taut enough to go across, and again everything will come crashing down. She needs that sweet spot of just the right tightness for the thing to be able to balance on the wire. And the thing balancing on the wire is an achievement as well, but it all depends on the wire. If the wire is right, then it has a chance. This has a chance then to cross it. But no matter how well whatever's balancing on the wire does, if the wire is not set up properly, then it doesn't matter, because everything will come crashing down. So that's a little bit like the foundation, getting the foundation just right. And sometimes that can be a bit of a balancing act. Everything else that's going to go on that is it's not going to be necessarily easy from that point. But if, at least it gives something that can be built on, that it can work. If we don't have just say she doesn't hold it tight enough, then it will be too loose, and the thing and everything will fall down. So it is important to get the things that everything's going to be based on right, and to take the time for that, to get that stability, to enable us to move on from there. And let's celebrate every phase of achievement. Whenever we have a moment where we can recognize we're one step further along, celebrate that too. Because I believe that is the message of the cards today. Okay, so that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow as we start the weekend with day 24. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.